Hello, it's Tina with TinaBrinkleyPotts.com, and today we're going to talk about the Facebook changes that are happening to the fan page. You know, Facebook is now taking the fan page to the lovely timeline that was rolled out a couple months ago on our profiles, and now that's moving to the fan pages. And I have some great guests today who are going to also discuss this with us. So let's go around the room and kind of introduce ourselves. Mary, let's start with you.
Hi, I'm Mary Boris, and I'm with Big Dogs Marketing, and we do online marketing for small businesses and medium-sized businesses using all sorts of different tools and methods that we have. And I'll go to the next one. Chris, why don't you talk?
All right. Thanks, Mary. I'm Chris Berggren from Local Links Marketing. We're in Southern California, and we, too, do all kinds of online marketing. We especially focus on the mobile marketing market, which is really hot right now. But it integrates terrifically with Facebook and the other social media and an all-around marketing strategy. Tony.
Hi, I'm Tony Tracy. I'm based in the United Kingdom, and the company is eConsultants.it. Again, we advise, and we do the work sometimes for local businesses. It's about their online presence. One of the major changes that's happening right now is this Google versus Facebook for marketing advertising, and Facebook is winning right now with a new timeline.
Yeah.
So basically, we're busy right now with existing clients who have Facebook pages, and now they have to migrate to the new layout, which is a great advantage for them or for any business because we've got more real estate to work with.
Absolutely.
So that's basically what we're doing at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. So Tony, do you want to start off and just talk about overall why you feel that this new Facebook timeline fan page is a great place for businesses to be?
Yeah, it probably, as far as we're concerned, it falls into three main categories. The first category is the actual business that has the Facebook page. Right now, they have a limited amount of, let's call it, screen space to get the message across and put the products up. So from March 30th, from the end of this month, you're going to have a lot more real estate. So you can get the message out. What is challenging, there's pros and cons with that. A lot of small business owners just don't get Facebook.
Yes.
They may be the wrong age group or whatever, but if I put it this way, one of our clients is Tall Ships. That's international tall ship racing. You know, a pirate ship. Let's look at a tall sailing ship. Mm-hmm. That is an international client we've got, and most of them are based here in the UK. They try to, their target market is 16 to 24-year-olds all around the world. Problem is, the people that run tall ships are usually in their 50s. Right?
Yeah.
And they think Facebook is for the teenagers, right?
Facebook is just absolutely perfect for that category of stakeholder. How do I reach 16 to 24-year-old? Now, a 50-year-old business owner is probably used to the old way of doing things. You know, you put an ad in a newspaper, or maybe it's a TV or radio commercial, whatever. But we all know 16 to 24-year-olds do not engage with that type of media.
No,
they're on Facebook.
They're on Facebook.
Right? Not only are they on Facebook, but they're not even on Facebook with a desktop computer. They're using a mobile phone.
Exactly.
So, and what Facebook does is, if you've got a smartphone and you log onto Facebook, you'll see the smartphone rendition of Facebook. Mm-hmm. And that's what people are engaging with. Mm-hmm. So the first category of stakeholders, I say, is the business owner. They may not get it as regards how do I use this or whatever, but their market gets it.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. It's fantastic from that point of view. The second stakeholder is actually the marketing, online marketers like us now. Mm-hmm. Because we've got more real estate to work with, we actually have a lot more tools in the toolkit to go and make things happen.
Yes.
Right? And that makes it wonderful. For example, we can get a WordPress website up now. We can actually, Facebook will allow us to not just use their Facebook layout, but use an application that pulls the website in from our server and displays it on the Facebook server. So you can have all kinds of websites up there. That's the second group. The third group are Facebook advertisers. We're taking advantage here with our clients. Facebook is taking money off the table from Google advertising. Everyone has a limited advertising budget right now. There's only so much money on the table. Google has always been getting that as regards AdSense and that side panel there on your Google search. Facebook comes along, is now taking off that, which means pay-per-click ads is far cheaper on Facebook and better targeted. Say you want to go after 16 to 24-year-olds in Philadelphia, you can just put in the numbers and Facebook will tell you how many of them have a Facebook account. Tells you there and then. If you were doing something, if you were, let's say, putting on a wedding fair, and you wanted to know how many people in my area are engaged, no matter what their age is, it'll tell you. So you can put a Facebook ad and it'll only turn up on their page. So they're the three groups. There's the business owner, there's the Facebook layout, if you like, the system itself, and then there's Facebook advertisers. And it's all changing, and it's fantastic for all stakeholders.
You know,
Unfortunately, sorry, Tina, not all of us can get our head around it all at the same time. Okay? Because some of it is technical and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, back to you.
That's okay. I want to jump in right there before we get into any type of specifics. And as a business consultant, my niche is definitely the baby boomer age. So when you're talking about most of my clients fall in, 50 to 75 years of age. And I have this conversation all the time on why it's important for them to be on Facebook. So I'm so glad you brought that up because I want to give my 3 points that I give every time. The first reason is you want to meet your prospects where they are. And with Facebook already being at over 1 billion users, I think they touted 1 billion at this last time I heard, but whatever they have, that's where you're at. That's where people are. So you need for your business marketing efforts to be where your target market is. That's number one. I know that a lot of them, like you said, depended on newspapers, print, but as you can see, their readership is declining. It's coming down. So you have to go where the people are. Once you start talking in that language, they get it. Second thing is the way that it spreads on Facebook. So if I am at your business, I check into your business, and I say I'm there and I enjoyed the lovely cup of coffee that you've given me and your customer service was great. I think I'm right around 1,200 friends and I'm at like 2,000 on my fan page. So each one of them are going to see that comment in my news feed. So now your business has gotten exposure, not just from me, your already client, but other prospects. You now have 1,500 prospects you didn't know. So those are two important things. And the last reason is the targeting that Tony was just talking about. I can instantly go on there, and if I know your target market, I can go on there and I can tell you exactly how many people I can reach. Even down, you can break it down so far. You can go as far as a zip code. You can go as far as an interest. If you've told me that you like fishing, I can actually find people who are talking about fishing on Facebook. And now I can target them with your ad. So when you want to look at where you should be spending your dollars right now, yes, Google was big before. Yes, print was big before. But now Facebook is winning. And the last thing I want to say is that I think Facebook is learning that you need to tell the story. And now you can present the story of your business through Facebook. So it's the great time for mom and pops to get online. So I just wanted to throw that in. Any comments?
No, Tina.
Started on any specific questions?
Yeah, I'd like to point out what you just said. I'd like to kind of capitalize on that a little bit. When you mentioned that the mom and pops and the timeline, the neat thing about this new timeline format is that if a business was in business since 1965, now they can tell their story. They can say, oh, this restaurant was founded in 1965, and now we have a chain of, 20 different restaurants. And this is what happened in this, different milestone. In each milestone, or every time we opened a new restaurant in a new location, you can see how we grew and what our growing path was. So I think that's a really important opportunity for them to jump in and explain their story. People love stories too.
Yeah.
Very, very much so. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, this is Chris. Can I just add a little in there too, Tina?
Sure.
I see this timeline change as being very good for businesses, kind of for these same reasons. And I just want to expound on that a little bit. The way Facebook was set up, people would still take their broadcast message and just plop it right into Facebook, still broadcasting out to everyone, almost like standing there with a megaphone and shouting, here we are and here's what we do. The new timeline makes it so you do have to consider more of a storytelling idea. And even with, say, the cover photo, some people, I just hear people screaming about all the restrictions on the new cover photo. You can't have calls to action in it. You can't have contact information. You can't. Instead of turning it around and saying, how can we tell our story with a photograph? Because, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right?
Very much so, yeah.
That's what we've been hearing.
And that would bring me to a perfect example I did on a podcast last week. No matter which political affiliation you have, Obama has been the forerunner when it comes to using social media in his campaign. He did in 2008, and he's doing it again. If you were to go to his fan page last week, he had this amazing picture on the cover photo of where he's actually giving the average Joe a fist pump. And if you saw that, the connection he was making to the average person was so powerful. And, I can't wait to watch how all of this plays out in the political arena, because it's going to give me so much information that I can talk about when I'm talking about social media.
Exactly, Tina. That this timeline cover gives people an opportunity to create multiple strategies for that cover photo, and they can be interchanged. You don't have to leave it there. You can change it very easily on a regular basis. It's really neat.
Matter of fact, I've heard that pretty much the opinion is that Facebook encourages you to keep changing it. Yeah. So whatever you want to feature, whatever product or service you want to feature, you can do that, and in addition to that, the fact that you can pin something now. So if you have like a special sale happening or a special discount coupon or something like that, you can pin it and keep it there for 7 days, and that is a really big change, which is really for the better.
It is. The three main things, well, there's 4 points. No contact information or web address on this cover photograph. Mm-hmm. No sales-related content such as price or a special offer. Mm-hmm. No reference to Facebook features such as like or share, the usual click on our button, mm-hmm. and no calls to action. Mm-hmm. Now, you got to put this in context. Those 4 no-nos are about that cover image. Mm-hmm. So if you're using the new timeline within Facebook, you cannot do any of that.
Yes.
Now, let's go back to my second category from a techie point of view. If you're actually displaying not the Facebook timeline, but your WordPress website in there, not only can you do all that because it's now on your website and they're just pulling it in, you can actually put a video in there. So how about a Facebook page that when you log on to someone's page, that big cover image is a video?
Absolutely.
That's powerful.
Right?
Very powerful.
Now
example.
You've gone beyond. Yeah, you've gone beyond what Chris was saying there about you can change the image all day, every day if you wish. There's no problem on that. But supposing you're using it as a website, it's your own website, you can put videos up, you can do what you like. Okay? Facebook does not want to host those websites. What they want to do is give you an app that, because we're part of the developers license with Facebook, that just pulls their website in and they display it. And they're quite happy to do that. Mm-hmm. But if you're using their system, in other words, the cover image, you got restrictions. So I think it's fantastic. We've got 17 clients right now with Facebook business pages. And now we're already talking to them about the cover image just to introduce them to the change. But we're also saying, we can put your website up here. And they're saying, does Facebook allow that? Yeah, they allow it. Do they charge for it? No, they don't.
Well,
so... Well,
Tony,
we charge them to put the Facebook website up. But no, Facebook doesn't charge.
Absolutely. But you know what, Tony? I think that's one great business strategy altogether is you're concentrating on what you can do instead of what you can't. And a lot of times that's what we do. We worry so much about what we can't do that we don't focus on the solution. And I think that solution is great. I know that like right now on my, for my cover photo, I actually just have a quote from Dolly Parton with a great image behind it of trees talking about if you don't like the road, go find a new one. And it's a powerful statement about what I do to help business owners. So, you can find creative ways of getting your message across. And I think that was a phenomenal way, Tony. I think that's wonderful. So let's talk about the pinning. How you can pin a post, a picture, because that's a powerful tool that a business can use now. Who wants to start?
Well, I think just the fact that you can display any sale, or what if you had a contest? For example, right now we have a Facebook fan page contest. So, you can pin that, and it will stay there for 7 days. And actually, when you highlight, it'll spread across the entire timeline, so it's double width. So it really gets a lot of real estate and a lot of attention right away as soon as somebody comes to your page.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think the problem with the existing Facebook page was that no matter what content was going up, it was always the latest content, was top of the page.
Yes.
So if you wanted to can I just hold that post, hold that image or whatever, and just leave it there for a week? You couldn't do it. And this is what pinning is about. You're basically putting it on the pin board and saying, leave it up there for 7 days. Mm-hmm. Or you want to leave it up there for...
And it gives you so much more control, You have more control over everything instead of constantly free-flowing.
I know the graphics designers and graphic artists are going to be busy over the next few months because everybody's going to start thinking visually at long last about the Internet. The Internet is a visual medium. And sometimes you think, when I look at some websites or even some Facebook pages that have been put together, they just say, did you never hear the color? I mean, what's with all the black and white? You know what I mean? We've invented color, and this is before you say, hey, we can have a moving image now. It's called movies and films,
and that's an important thing, not just about Facebook, but overall. We want to be we want to be engaged. So, if I have a chance of reading it or watching a video, what am I going to do? I'm going to watch the video.
Every time.
And I think that brings up I think there's a new breed of teenager or internet person out there. What I mean by that is they have the attention span of a goldfish. If you don't grab their attention within 4 seconds, they're going to hit that back button, okay? I mean, anyone who's a parent who has teenagers, kids, or whatever, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Sure do.
It doesn't matter what online assets you've got up there. You've got about 4 seconds to grab their attention, and they will either stay or they're going to hit that back button and find something more interesting.
I love that everybody has a different way of saying it, because I call it the microwave society, and I'll tell people it's just like you're waiting for that popcorn. 5, 4, 3, 2. That's it. That's all you get.
That's a really good one, Tina.
That's all you get.
It's so true, Tina.
Let's talk about the top navigation. What's happening with Facebook now? Oh, I'm sorry, Chris, did you say something?
I did. I would love to say something about the video and pinning and highlighting and kind of all together, going right along with that attention span. Facebook is making it so that you have to make a choice between pinning or highlighting. You can't pin something and stretch it across the entire timeline. You do have to choose. But think about this. What if you've incorporated video in that post? Either way, if you have stretched it across or if you have pinned it, it will draw more attention. The video thumbnails now are huge compared to what they were. They take up half the space on the page. So someone will feel like they're really watching a video, not this teeny tiny little square box that it has been. Lots of opportunities, like Tony said, for our graphic designers and for those who are thinking about how to engage their customers, and using a combination of these features of highlighting or pinning, video as opposed to an image. Definitely all those come into play much more in the new timeline.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to add to the interactivity. I mean, it is grabbing attention.
Definitely.
But if it's visually appealing, I mean, great. One of my teenage sons is into heavy rock, and he's still at college and that type of thing. But when I look at the websites and the YouTube videos that he's actually looking at, it's, I don't know, he calls it gothic. It's all black and white, you know what I mean? It's all, and I'm looking at it and saying, have we lost the colour on the screen here or something? What? No, it's all black. You know, hey, I grew up with black and white TV.
Tony, did you add some sunlight into your room? Because I have a funny color thing going on my screen. So I just...
No.
Somewhere...
My wife left the room. The light of my life has left the room. Can't you tell I'm well trained?
Girls, are you seeing that tint that I'm seeing?
Yeah, it's like a digital breakup of color on your shirt, Tony.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm not doing anything. We haven't turned anything on or off. No, sorry.
Okay, that's
You're
okay.
not
I
breaking
just
up, huh?
wanted to mention it.
I've got the ladies. I've got the patio doors there with sunlight coming through, and I've got a window here with sunlight coming through. So, hey, what time
that
is
could
it?
be it. That could be it.
It's now nearly 4:30 in the afternoon. The sun is going down. What can I tell you?
So, I think you hit on a great point, Chris, about the amount of space that video is going to happen, because now you're talking about more of an experience too. When you have that present and it's as big as it's going to be, that's going to be a huge thing. What do you guys think about the top navigation now? So instead of having your tabs on the side, you can pin up to 12 things up to the top. What do you think about that?
I think those are a great addition. I think that now you can put your little calls to action in those tabs, right? You could have like me here, or a link to your blog. You could have, if you're a photographer, you could have your portfolio right there, photos, and click on that and take you through that. I think it gives you a lot of flexibility. I think it's a great thing.
Once again, you get something visually appealing. You can use these thumbnails. You don't have just this teeny tiny little thumbnail with words. You actually have a picture. You have some real estate that you can use for, as Mary said, a call to action, or something that spurs your visitors to interact with that button or thumbnail. So lots of room for more creativity and strategy in those thumbnails.
Definitely.
Plus the thumbnails are a decent size. I'm just looking at the sizes. They're about 111 pixels by 74. I mean, that is decent size.
Yes.
To grab the attention, to create interest, just to click on it. So I think it's fantastic.
Exactly.
And the other fun thing about it is they're all movable. They're interchangeable. You can slide them all around. So just to change it up a bit, you can change it up every day if you want to, So you can try different things. You can split test kind of that way too, see what's working.
What we've been playing with here in the last couple of days is building. It's actually for our mobile marketing service, building the Facebook new timeline, but we're building a website, a WordPress website. And I've deliberately gone down the road of not having a top navigation bar. The reason is an awful lot of people either don't see it or they see it and don't pay attention to it. So I'd rather put maybe images in or these little 111 by 74 apps, get them to click on that. Mm-hmm. People just don't seem, we're so blind to what a website looks like these days. Half the time we don't see the nav bar. Mm-hmm. We don't pay attention to the sidebar, that type of thing. So we need to get things in the middle here, in the center. And if there are images they can click on that'll take them somewhere else inside your site or inside your Facebook presence, then that's what we're doing. But it's an experiment. I just have a thing about, I suppose it's what happens. I give an awful lot of seminars. So I was doing a live seminar there only recently, and we were on a website. I was doing a website review for a member of the audience, one of these, have a look at my website. And basically what I did was I just went over to the scroll bar, because I was talking about you have to have everything above the fold. I knew what I was talking about. He didn't. Mm-hmm. But I went over and grabbed the scroll bar, clicked on it, pulled it down, and what did he say? How did you do that? I said, do what? There's about 60 people in the room. He said, you moved all the way down real quick. And I'm standing there and I'm saying, what are you on about? No, remember you were up here and you did, I just moved the scroll bar. Oh, says he, I used the little arrows on the bottom. It takes me forever to go. And I says, what? Now, as if that wasn't bad, you're just going to get into your head. People don't know as much as we do. We do, So another thing was, at the same seminar, I used the address bar at the top. I'm in Safari right now. If I want to go to another website, I just, blank everything out there and just type in a new website. Mm-hmm. And I'll go straight to it. And there was 2 people in the audience said, I didn't know you could do that. I thought you had to go back to Google and type in the website. So you'd be amazed at what people, I'm familiar with a computer, I know how to get on the internet. You'd be amazed at what they don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my whole idea here with putting these new timeline websites up is to get rid of the navigation bar, because I believe half of them don't see it anyway. Mm-hmm. Right? And just get rid of it. But turn them into these little images, these little apps. That'll go straight to the next page. A nice image that tells you what the page is about. So, hey, I'm just saying that's what I'm doing. Whether it works or not is going to be another thing. Let's see how it rolls out and how they engage with it.
Well, the one thing that I think has been consistent across what each of us were saying is people need to find ways of telling the story visually instead of with words. Because it's about the story and the experience. And I think, each one of us have brought up an example on how, they could do that. What do you guys think about the Facebook deals is now being expanded, which I think is a good thing. I think that, I don't think enough people were taking advantage of what could actually happen.
Okay, I'll let someone else jump in here.
Do any of you guys currently do deal?
I'm not right now.
No, actually, I do not. So, Tina, perhaps this is your opportunity to.
Sure. So you know that there is Foursquare, of course, and then there's Facebook that do the check-in feature. And many people, because Foursquare was the first, tend to think that that's the best way of doing it. But Facebook has the power of the people behind them. So if you have a brick or mortar business, you can literally set up that if someone checks in, they can get a deal. So check in, you can get 10% off of this slice of pizza or whatever. A visual coupon comes up. They can present it on their phone or whatever to the cashier. But when they check in, the cashier can tell, or whoever's on their Facebook page can tell that the person did it, and they can give them the deal. It's another great way of causing the word to spread through news feeds and teaching and showing that other people have enjoyed the experience. I use the check-in features a lot with nonprofit organizations. Great thing, I am a PC user, I have to say, but I love my iPhone, the iPad. I feel that they are the best thing since sliced bread. And most people don't realize the power of it. But do you know that if you have an iPad or an iPhone, that you can check everyone into your event from that one device? Most people have to check in individually. But if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can check in. So can you imagine let's talk about a networking event at a chamber. And I'm responsible for the registration process. So every time someone comes to register, I'm going to say, hey, Chris, are you on Facebook? Let me look you up. Okay, I just checked you in. Have a wonderful day.
Now you've exposed that chamber to all Chris's friends. Whoa, powerful.
And ladies, I think if you speak to Greg Adams, he actually has an app for that. He's already done it.
Really?
Yeah, for his
Look into
iPhone.
that.
For his iPhone, for his local chamber.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Awesome.
how did you say?
Yep.
Yeah, we banged around.
Yep.
We don't use it over here as regards Foursquare. It's not that popular here in the UK. There are variations of it in the UK that I've seen being worked, But as regards using an iPad or an iPhone, the systems are there in place to do so much.
So much.
But we don't use PCs anymore. We use Macs. So maybe Tina, when you grow up and you save all your pocket money, you might buy a Mac.
Yes, I'm holding on I'm holding on real tight, but I gotta tell you, that Mac is coming real soon.
Well, you've got an iPad, right, Tina, don't you?
iPad, iPhone, and of course, iPad 3 is on pre-order right now, and I'm trying not to be tempted, but it looks like a piece of glass. I've watched all the videos. I'm ready to go get it.
Well, I can tell you that if you're using a Mac for your business in this industry, you will find there is no downtime that we used to get when we had PCs. There are no error messages that stop us doing anything, and things just work. That's all I can say. We migrated about 3-4 years ago over to Macs, and that's it. Half the headaches were gone immediately. You know what I mean? We just found you couldn't progress with your business doing all the things you have to do on your computer and have all the pieces of kit, whether it's Photoshop or whatever, or Dreamweaver or whatever you're doing your development in. We just found the PC just didn't do it for us. But once we went to Mac, we could do everything at once. So that's it. So I don't have a franchise for Apple. I'm just saying, ladies, when you grow up, save up your pocket money and buy a Mac.
It's okay. My iPhone. Let's get back to Facebook. I think we've helped Apple's stock go up, but
Apple owes a commission to Tony now.
Yes, they definitely do. If you could offer a business one thing that they should do on Facebook today, what would you tell them?
I would say find the most compelling graphic or photograph or video that you could possibly find in your business that represents you as best as possible, and put that on your cover page.
I'll expand on that a little bit. Mary, as you're choosing that photo, why don't you think first of what is your strategy? And can I suggest several different strategies that you might consider? One is to expand the brand. Two would be to just spark curiosity about you or your brand. Three would be list building. Are you using your cover photo to help you build a list? Just basic creative branding. You could highlight your audience. Dove does a great job of that if you want to go look at their Facebook page. You can highlight unique features of your product or services. The Chevy Volt, if you look at their Facebook page, they do a fantastic job of highlighting a unique feature. Just your personal branding. Is it an awesome photo of you? And the last one I might suggest is spotlighting your content. Their Advertising Age does a good job of that, of using headlines from their blog in kind of a magazine headline format to spotlight some content. Now, I personally prefer something more visually appealing than that, but it is a strategy, and it can work depending on what your business is and what your end goal is. So I might even say then, before you come up with your strategy, you must think about what the end goal is. You must start with the end in mind. And then develop the strategy, find your photograph or image compilation, however it's going to work, and use it all together to draw in that audience and engage with them.
I think those are great, Chris. Madonna has an excellent cover photo as far as personal branding. Britney Spears has a great one up right now. So I think those are two great examples. Red Bull has a great image up on their cover photo as well. So Tony, what do you think? What would you say a business needs to do about Facebook right now?
Well, you gave the example of let's say a mom and pop operation, right? And let's say they've been in existence for a good few years, and maybe they're in the 50-plus age group range. For them to just even begin to get their head around what this new internet media can do for them, what I think is fantastic is when we want images, when we want the video, I go to a 19-year-old college student. I want someone who's young. I want someone who has that young eye. And I say, look, this is the business or this. How would you make that interesting? Because my age group is the same as the business owner. We grew up preconditioned that marketing and advertising was print or TV and whatever. You need a completely different set of eyeballs on this, and you need a young set of eyeballs. I don't expect a young person to know how to do the techie stuff, but I expect them to know, help me out here visually. How would you tell this story? How would you? Because they'll whip out their mobile phone and they'll make you the movie there and then. Well, I find this. They will give you an angle, you know. Where if I think of making a video, I think, I've got to get the camera, I've got to get the lights, I better get the sound, where's the tripod? They just take this little device out of the phone and they've got a movie. And you know, sometimes the shaky camera imagery is far, far better than the Hollywood production that you might do through, I don't know, Dreamweaver or whatever. What's the other one called? Final Cut Pro or something, or Adobe Design, you know. This, you know, I say, hey, that is interesting. So you're going to change your preconceptions here. It depends on the market you're trying to reach. If I'm trying to reach professionals, it's a professional video. If I'm trying to reach consumers, as amateur as you can make it, that's the way I look at it. Just change Tony, that mindset.
That is a hard perception to change, Tony. I struggle through that every day with my clients.
Yeah. But it's my perceptions too. It's not just your clients, Tina. It's our perception.
You're right. You're right.
I'm in the same age group, so I get amazed when I see a 20-year-old produces a little mini video for me, and I look at it and I might be looking at it and saying, this is a load of crap. But if I'm going after 16 to 24-year-olds, and you know, and this kid is telling me, put it up on YouTube and see if it gets any hits, and the damn thing is flying off the page, I say, what do I know? Okay, put it up. You know,
put it up.
We're going to run with that. Yes. Right? Yeah. What I'm saying is, leave your precondition, whatever it is, outside the door. It depends on who you're trying to market to.
Well,
you know, if I want to market to If I want to market it to grandparents, I'll market it to in a way they're used to it.
That's
I
right.
might put it in print, or I might put it on whatever, you know.
That's right. Well,
I
that leads
actually
me.
did a video like that. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I actually did a couple of videos like that. One of them that was saying you don't really have to be a movie star. You don't have to have a big budget. You know, you don't have to make a Cecil B. DeMille movie. So I did do that, and I did one that was using like a standard consumer model Canon video camera, sitting outside just talking about it. And then I did another one. I called it blog walking, and I actually took my I don't have an iPhone, I have an Android, but I took that and I took it with me as I went on a walk, and I just kind of talked through it and explained to people that shaky cam does have a place in advertising and video. So it was a lot of fun. So yeah. And it had a lot of good reviews.
And it's very quick.
It's very quick.
There's no post-production. Hey, just put it straight up, you know?
Yeah.
It's on the YouTube channel. Check it out. It's on my channel, Big Dog Marketing.
Absolutely. Now, before we close, I have one more question. You have all of these do-it-yourselfers out there, and I'm not saying that that's bad, because for me, I either come in and do it for you, I do it for you and then train you and turn it over, or I come in and train you. So I'm not saying it's bad, but for that industry we were just talking about, the mom and pops, what would you say would be the best strategy for them to move forward? So, Chris, let's start with you. We've been starting the other way, so let's start with you first.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to be perceived as saying this because I'm in the business of helping people like this. But we've been talking about the simple fact that most people who are business owners, and perhaps especially in the 50-plus age group, have a hard time wrapping their minds completely around the whole concept and how it all works together. There are two factors that come into play. One, what are you good at? Two, how much do you have time for, and how much new stuff do you want to learn, or do you have time to learn? If you take away from your primary business to learn how to make a Facebook timeline cover and do all of that, what will it take away from your primary business, which probably needs your strategizing and your efforts? So as you consider those factors, I believe that for most people it is in their best interest to find someone who is a professional at this sort of thing, who can create those timeline covers, who can actually help the business create a strategy to make it all work. And then, Tina, as you said, make a choice as to whether it's going to be handing it all over to that consultant to do it all for you, or perhaps the consultant creates the strategy and gets it all started and teaches you how to work it along the way, and maintain it, where you have some continuity of contact and strategizing and such. You're not left on your own completely. Those are the two strategies that I believe would be most successful. There are a few business owners who are just so full of energy, far more than I can ever find, who can manage to do everything. For those people, I say have at it and do it all. But most of us do not fall in that category, and it truly is best to do what you do best and find someone else to do what they do best for you. And in the case of Facebook, that is what I would recommend.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, I've been at this a long time. I was a lecturer at university back in the 90s. So when the internet came along, I thought it was a great thing to get involved, put my teacher resources up online so my students could get access. So that's how I started doing websites and all that. So when I go back to 96, 1997, I mean, there was no social media. There was no any of this thing around. You know, we all had dial-up, by the way. We didn't have broadband. And we really did have to pedal faster, you know, to get something to come on. But I couldn't put up an image. I mean, it would take all night for an image to download onto your screen, you know what I mean? But what I've done is, you know, you kind of grow with it. And where I'm coming from is, I don't mind if a business owner says to me, I want to do it myself. Just give me some guidance. Just give me a tip. I have no problem. I tell them, yeah, all you do is do this, do that, and click this, and you should be okay. Because I know from experience they're going to break it. That's the way I work. And I know when they call me because they broke it, now they're going to pay me. Where when I was trying to tell them, let me do it for you, I couldn't make a sale because he had it in his head, I'm going to do this myself. I just need to know it, and you're going to tell me for free. Yeah, off you go. I guarantee you they break it. And when they come back and it's a mess, now you're getting paid to undo the mess. So
you know, that was really honest.
Well,
I think all of us are laughing so hard because that has happened a lot of times.
Yeah, it happens a lot. I mean, I have sat with clients, and they are clients, who have said to me, Tony, you know, you've been doing this for a year, 2 years, wherever it is for us. Would you mind showing our in-house web developer how to do this? And I say to them, what do you think? You know what I mean? No way am I showing you how to do this. You know, you pay me to do it. You want him to do it? Go give it to him. But he doesn't have to do it. Well, what are we having this conversation for? Go away. Mm-hmm. I can get very black and white with my clients, believe me. Mm-hmm. I don't carry passengers, you know. But I let them, if someone says to me, I give them a WordPress site, I never give them full admin because they're only going to mess with the plugins, they're going to mess with the code. You give them author or whatever, subscriber, whatever, editor status, that's what I'm looking for. But if they insist, I just say, yeah, I'll give him 2-3 days, he's going to be back. Oh, my site crashed. I wonder why. What were you doing in the back end? Mm-hmm. Right? Now I can charge more for undoing the mess. Sorry, that's just the way it works. Because once you let them into the Thai box, they're going to explore. And when they explore, they're going to break it.
Yep.
So knock yourself out. Sure, you want full admin, you can have it.
Well, I think I have to agree. I have to agree at some point, as far as Tony, what you're saying regarding technical, because the technical stuff is very difficult to learn, and it changes so constantly. You really have to stay on top of it. And it's one of those things you have to really be devoted to, and you have to stay on top every single day informing yourself. And if you're trying to run a business, that's quite a challenge to try to do both of those things. However, I do feel, though, strongly about people educating themselves, at least on some level, so that they do understand why they need the things that they need and why they need these tools. And they should at least be understanding how important social media is to their business, for example. And so I do think that they should have some level of education. They don't need to know how to push the buttons and all do the bells and whistles stuff. I think maybe Tony behind the scenes is the hero in that regard. But I do think it's important for them to understand this is so important for your business, and it's really going to grow your business. And if you don't do it, and if you're not found on Google, you are not relevant. So I think that would be my biggest tip, is educate yourself. There's plenty of information out there. You can attend webinars like this one and plenty of others out there. There's YouTube. There's all sorts of things. And in fact, we have a social media workshop coming up, Tina.
Yes, we do. April 17th. Yes, absolutely.
Right. In
all-day workshop, so blueprint, walk out. You'll know exactly what to do to get yourself on board, handing it to you.
And they'll still call you when they mess it up, okay?
Well, you guys,
that's not fair.
I want to thank each and every one of you for coming. Why don't you guys give everybody your contact information again and what you have going on? So, Chris, I see you on the end, so I'm going to start with you.
Okay. Well, again, it's been great to be with you. I'm Chris Berggren. The company is called Local Links Marketing, and it's LYNX. Our motto is to help you link, engage, and grow your business. And we can be reached in Southern California. Our website... Our website is down right now, but you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Local Links Marketing. Actually working right now on getting our whole timeline cover all set up there. So if you go today, it might not look so great. So keep coming back because I'm working that up as we speak.
Great. Tony, you're next.
Well, okay, well, we have 8 websites because we do 8 different services, as web design or mobile or that type of thing. So last week I pulled them all down, and we pulled down all our Facebook pages that are related to them because we're going to do this beautiful integration with the new timeline, and it's going to be a website. We're in a website and all that type of thing. So that's what we're working on right now. But the umbrella, the company and the main website is econsultants.it. Now, before everybody emails me, I get an awful lot of emails from techies telling me there's no such thing as .it, and yet they're emailing me at that address, and they're from techies. Before it does your head in, I registered it in Italy, so that's where the .it comes from, and it gives me a global. Rather than .com is America and .co.uk is UK and all that, I wanted something that was more generic than that, so .it does it. So that's us. Well, basically, we've got clients who are international. I mentioned the tall ships. I've got, and where you are, Chris, in San Francisco, there's the Los Angeles Maritime Institute that's quite near you as well. We've done some work for them. Right across the other side of the world to New Zealand, Australia, all that type of thing. But mostly what I love is we've got an awful lot of local clients right here in my little county called Hampshire. And we've had them for a good number of years, and they've evolved and developed as well. And that's great. Now, their individual markets have gone up and down like a yo-yo because of the recession. Some of them are doing well in the recession, like bankruptcy accountants and that type of thing and specialists. Some are not doing too good. Anything that was in what I would call the pamper industry, whether it's going to a spa for a day or going to a beauty parlor, they're not doing too well these days. Nobody has got the money to spend on that. But so they're all up and down. So that's basically what we're doing, okay? And I'm from the techie side, and I started off in IBM way back years ago, and I became a university lecturer, and then a marketer, then an online marketer. My CV, if I put it together right now, would embarrass me. But I tell you what the common thread is. The common thread from the 1970s to today about everything I do and I have done is a little thing called database. That's the common thread. Whether you're looking at Google, and Google is a database, albeit it's a fantastic database, but that's what it is. And when you do a Google search, what are you doing? You're accessing a database. That's it. Facebook is operating on the database. WordPress is operating on the database. So everything that's it. So no matter what I see, a piece of kit or a new whatever out there, I immediately, from a techie's point of view, say, how can I use this database for my marketing purposes? And that brings us into the search optimization, brings us into Google Places, all of that type of thing. So that's what I do and how I do it. It's just databases. I know it sounds light, but it's just a database at the end of the day. My job is some techie, and he's probably only 19 years of age, put that together. Let's see if he really knows what he thinks he knows. And that's where I get involved. And I find that a challenge. Yeah.
Mary?
Sorry, Mary, over to you.
Yes, our company is Big Dogs Marketing, spelled BIGDOGZ. Dogs Marketing, and we make it possible for the little dogs to run with the big dogs because I believe that social media really levels the playing field. And it's the best way you can leverage yourself, your time, and your money, and get more customers that way. And you can play with the big guys. You don't need a large budget to make things happen. So we have a workshop coming up April 17th, as Tina mentioned, and it's going to be all about social media, teaching you a system that you can use for any product or service. over and over so that you can get that in place and then manage it yourself, or you can outsource that as well. But that's coming up April 17th, and that is in Darien, Illinois.
Yes,
Tina's been
of course,
great, by the way.
I'm Tina, and I want to thank everybody for coming. And I guess in closing, the last thing I want to say is that even though I'm very much a techie kind of person, my main job in everything I've done, I'm like Tony. If I was to put it all on paper, it'd be kind of embarrassing on how I go from one thing to the other. But the main thing that I've done is I know how to get from point A to point B. And if you are a small business owner and you are not using social media, you are hurting yourself. There is no other way of explaining it. So even if you begin to dive in and try it yourself, if it doesn't work, don't stop. Find someone to do it for you. So that's all I wanted to close with. I want to thank everybody for being here today, and I look forward to seeing everybody again.
Thank you so much, Tina.
All right, bye-bye. Thanks, Tina.
Tina, can I mention the place that you can get the information on the workshop? If you go to www.bigdogsmarketing, that's bigdogs.com, and /social media power workshop. And
Okay.
it should take you right there.
BigDogsMarketing.com /social media power workshop.
Correct.
Got it.
And can I just say, I will not be there. I'm not flying into Deering, Illinois for that
come
one.
on,
Okay.
Tony. You want to answer there.
Tony,
we
you
can
can
do
come. Remember, it's all about figuring the belly to belly and into social media. So
Will you have
We can
donuts?
Skype him in. We can Skype you in, Tony.
No. Will you have donuts for me?
Tony, we can Skype
What?
you in.
Yep, that's what I just said.
Well, hey, first of all, I thought this little recording was happening tomorrow, not today. Okay? So Skyping me in
Or you
doesn't
would have
help.
got your hair done, right?
I did say to Tina last night when she asked me to do this, do I have to wash my face? That was a loaded statement.